Hey there, Simmers! Today I want to introduce something new to this channel in the form of Walkthrough Wednesday. So to start, I'd like to introduce you to the game called Myst. It's a graphic adventure puzzle game for just one player. So let's get started. When you start the game, it'll ask you if you want to randomize the puzzle or if you want to play the classic. So in this case, we are going to play the classic. We begin in this dark area where you can look around, and we see this fissure open up.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed, but I must admit that such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
So here's our kind of second interactive part. This is where we kind of learn how to walk around, how to look around, and so you see the book called Myst. This is where our adventure begins. When you open the book, you see there's a moving picture, and you have two choices. You can watch the picture and what it wants to show you, and you'll be transported there, or you can click inside of it. For this one, we'll watch it, but maybe for the other ones, we'll click into it. And that's where we're going. We start on the dock. To our right is a ship that is underwater. If you look straight forward, there's a platform with a gear. You can start to see the shape of the island by looking around. Some rocks, some trees, and then this door hatch here. We're going to go ahead and head downstairs into this area. It's a beautiful cave, nice and blue. Look at the detailing on the floor. Really gorgeous. Reflection of the lights. So over here, there's a paper for the dimensional imager, and that's what this is. It's the dimensional imager. And right now, you can see it kind of looks like a wave, and that's actually what it's set to. It's set to the water turbulent pool. So if you click on it, if you want to see the topography of the island, you can put in 40. Kind of makes some noises, closes again. This turns off, and then you turn it back on. So here is the topography of the island that we are now on. So if we come back here, so we've seen the water turbulent pool and the topographical extrusion test. So now we want to look at the one that we have not seen yet. So the marker switches are these obelisk-shaped items. And the next kind of objective that we need to do is go back up onto the island and find these obelisk-shaped markers and turn them all on. So our first one is here. It kind of symbolizes the area of like the ship here. If we come up to the gear area and this platform, there's nothing that we can get any kind of actions out of on the left-hand side. So on the right-hand side, there's another one of these. We'll turn on, head back down, and really just check out the rest of the island. I've left for you a message of utmost importance in our 4-chamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. We'll go directly up here to this building here. We'll turn this one on. Of course, we will obviously check out all of these different spaces, but for now we don't need to. We'll start this way with this ship. Turn that one on. Oh, I guess, okay, so the first one, so the ship was 1, the gear was 2, this building was 3, this ship was 4. This underground access point is 5. We have one that's way over there that we can't get to, 6. We have 7. And then over here, we have this weird tree in there. So that's it. And then we have this one here. So this was 8. So we had access to 7 of the 8. Now you might be asking, well, where do we go now? How do we figure out the clock? Well, we don't do that yet. We're going to head back to the beginning. That's all we can do right now. Even if we were to scour around the islands and look at everything, some of the stuff wouldn't make sense yet. So we're going to head back down to this primary area. We'll come back over here and then use this again. So what we're going to do this time is actually set this to 8. Because there were 8 margaritas and we could not get that 8th one. We got 7 of the 8. So if we come back over here, we'll push the button.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Achenar. But I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. I should have known not to have left my library unchecked for so long. I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in the places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you've forgotten the access key, remember the tower rotation, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. And erase this message after you've viewed it, just to be safe.
So basically, he's telling us kind of the protagonist in this story. So he's telling his Catherine that he's thinking his 2 sons might be the problem for what's been going on. We are not 100% sure on what's happening or why we're here. We're just solving puzzles at the moment, but it's kind of the story that we're going to be following. So we'll come back up here, up to the library area, which is this nice Greek-looking building here. And we'll go inside. So right now, it's just a space that has books, some paintings, a bookshelf, and then this weird thing. So we'll do the pages first. We insert a blue page and then we'll open it.
Seal? You must Achenar. Help me. Bring me pages.
He basically just says to bring him some blue pages, so we gave 1. So we'll do this red one and open this.
You must help me. Bring me a red page. I can't see. I need a red page. You must. Please bring me. Beg of you, bring page.
Yep. So he basically says to bring red pages. Okay, great. We got that. And then the next step that we need to do is come over here to this map. When you click on it, you have this gear, and it rotates so that you you get to either the gears, this area that went out towards the dock to the ship, out to the tree that we saw, and then to the ship. So for now, we're going to go to the gear. That's point number 1. And then these two paintings that we have here, this one looks like there are trees outside, and this one has what looks like a tunnel. So we'll pull that trigger, step back, and then come through here. Come down this beautiful hallway. Check out this elevator. There's nothing behind it, just some big lights. So enter the elevator. You have to open and close the door. It doesn't do that automatically. Push the button that says library, and then when we get up to the top, it will say tower. So now we're in the tower. Open this, and then if you look around, there's a key with some numbers and this ladder over here. So first things first, we come over here to the key, and this is the part where I would suggest, if you're playing this, to write these things down. So in my notebook, for example, I'll draw a little sketch of the key. It's not the best thing in the world, but it gets the job done. So 240, 22, and 1. So what exactly can those numbers mean? Well, what could we not do earlier? We couldn't access that 8th switch because we didn't have the time for the clock. So now we have a time. Let's go see if it works. We have to come back out to this painting, pull the lever, and it opens back up again. We'll run straight on down, have access to this guy, and then we need to make it 240. So we push the button. So the other thing that it gave us after the 240 was 2, 2, 1. And that refers to when you open this door, you're inside the clock tower, and here you have these gears. So the trick to these is you want them to say the 2, 2, 1. Now, the thing is, with these gears, if you pull them, they turn 2 at a time. And getting the 2, 2, 1 is very tricky because it's so difficult to try to get that 2, 2, and 1 together. We'll come over here and we'll pull the lever, which will reset it. So for this puzzle, to actually get the 2, 2, 1 from the beginning, you're going to hold this once, pull it twice, and then go over to the left one, and by holding the lever instead of just pulling it once, it will move the whole thing by 1 and then continue to move the middle one. So that gear looks an awful lot like another gear that we've seen. Lots of scary noises when you leave, but fun. So we come all the way back across the island, down here, over to, hey look, that gear looks a lot like that gear we just saw. And so now this gear is open. It looks just like the gear that was inside the clock tower. So this is how we will open this book, and you can see the what is referenced as the Mechanical Age. So now you can see that we are in something that looks a little bit like the gear that we just left, but now Myst has changed. The island has changed, and we're now in the Mechanical Age. So for this part of the walkthrough, I'm going to leave it right here. That's the beginning and the axis of the Mechanical Age. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!